All right, here we go. We're very excited about solving for x and y. Now what I want you to do is eye up these equations. And you need to ask yourself this question. Are you ready? Say self. You ready? Self. Which would cancel out easier? Which would cancel easiest? Right? In math, we like to make things easy when we can. Well, I'm hoping you're going to say this to yourself. The y's. Now, some of you are going to see that right away. Okay? Question, answer. Why are the y's going to cancel out? Because if I, ooh, that looked funny. If I multiply -5 times, look, I'm going to use a marker now, 3. What are you talking about? Well, if I multiply this -5 that I'm pointing at by a +3, I get -15. Which, guess what? Cancels with the +15 above it. Whoa, did I just blow your mind? If you multiply this 5 by a +3, you will get -15. And that -15 will cancel with that +15. I said that funny. Alright, that just means we are going to rewrite it because in math, if you don't keep it organized, you will get lost. Are you ready? Rewrite it. The top one does not change. Equation 1 does not change. Equation 1 does not change. -2x plus 15y equals -32. By the way, the reason x's don't work very well is because it would be hard to find something to multiply 2 to get to a 7. You might say, well, Mrs. Ella, I know if I multiply by 3.5, I can get it to a 7. That is true, but you just made your life harder. Why make decimals when you don't have to? Let's multiply that bottom by that 3. Are you ready? This is the manipulated equation number 2. Manipulated equation number 2. Distribute your 3. 3 times 7. Here, I'll even write it on a marker to make it feel better. Ready? 21x when you distribute a 3. Minus 15y. Look at that. It's like magic. Equals 17 times 3 is, you guys know it, you know it, you know it, 51. Draw a line. Boom. 21x minus 2x is a 19x. Ooh, that's ugly, you might think, but watch, the y's go away, and guess what -32 and 51 make? Makes 19. Isn't that nice? Divide each side by 19, and x is 1. Look, guys, we got an answer. So I'm trying to block the sun out. I don't have a shade behind me. It's very hard to see. I know that. Okay, x is 1. Look how pretty. Will x always be a pretty whole number? Nope. I'm just being real nice in the notes, aren't I? Pick an equation. Look, watch my pen. You can pick, or pencil. You can pick equation number 1. You can pick equation number 2, or you can pick the manipulated equation number 2. I don't really care what you pick. I'm going to pick equation 1 because guess what? It's first. It's easier to see for me. I don't care. Try another one if you want, guys. Alright, so we're going to plug in x. So we get -2 times 1 plus 15y equals -32. Good job. -2 times 1 is -2 plus 15y equals -32. Come on, guys. Work well with your negatives. Add 2. Add 2. Come on, you got this. A lot of you don't like this, but you can do this. 15y is -30. Divide by 15. Y is -2. Yay! 2 answers. And if you want to check if these 2 answers are correct, simply plug them into both original questions or problems or equations, and you will get 2 correct statements. Alright, let's have some more fun. You ready? -5x. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe that will help with the shadows. -5x minus 2y is 6. And 3x plus 6y is 6. Are you ready? Don't worry about the directions. Let's pretty much say do what we were just doing, okay? That's what it means by the multiplication property of equality. All that's saying is multiply it, and it's technically the same. Alright, what's easier? Is it easier to make the 5 and the 3 cancel, or is it easier to make the 2 and the 6 cancel? Did you take a guess? The correct guess is it's much easier to make the 2 and the 6 cancel. Yes, they are already different signs, which we love, okay? All I have to do is multiply the top one by a 3. Now, Mrs. L, why are you multiplying the top one by a 3? By multiplying the top one by a 3, I will cancel the y's. See? It is like magic. All right, let's rewrite it. When you have to really change something, you should rewrite both of them, okay? Distribute that 3. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15x. 3 times negative 2 is minus 6y. And 3 times 6 is 18. That's the top equation that I just manipulated. I manipulated equation number 1. The bottom equation does not need manipulated. Manipulate. Did I say that right? We're done. Because that's going to cancel. Look at those 6's. Boom, boom. That was my desk. Negative 15 negative 15 and positive 3 makes negative 12x. And 18 and 6 makes 24. That's pretty cool, right? Again, I gave you a pretty problem, didn't I? That was awfully nice of me. Divide each side by negative 12, and x is negative 2. A lot of you are going to think this is easier than yesterday because your answers are whole numbers. Well, guess what? I could easily make these problems difficult. All right? So don't think that this is always going to be such pretty numbers. All right? X is negative 2. It's just the process you need to get used to. You need to decide what process do you like the best. All right, so we get x equals negative 2. You may pick equation 1, 2, or 3. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to pick the 3x, the 6y, and the 6 because it's all positive numbers. And if you're like me, you like to use positive numbers so you don't mess up your negatives. All right, plug in the x. So 3 times what we just got, negative 2. See it? Negative 2 is what we got. Plus 6y equals 6. Hope you're having fun. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And then the 6y equals the 6. Add the 6 over. You get 6y equals 12. I hope you guys are trying to do the math in your head. You guys do need to work on your positives and negatives and adding and subtracting. Divide by 6, y is 2. Oh. Write your answer as an ordered pair, and you're good to go. Negative 2, 2. If you want to check it, plug both of those answers into both of the equations. All right. So far we've seen we've seen easy, then we saw not quite as bad, and now we're upping the level again. This time you're going to have to change both of them, okay? Because, and then may say, Mrs. L, how come we have to change both of them this time? Look at the 3 and the 4. 3 times blank is 4. I don't know. 2 times blank is 3. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know if you know. Okay? If you don't know, that just means let's multiply both of them together. So pick. Do you guys have a decision? Do you want to do the x's or the y's? There is no correct answer. Well, since you can't really answer me because you're at home and I'm not there, let's go ahead and try to cancel the x's. So here's what you need to think to yourself. Hey, self, what does 3 and 4 need to become to cancel each other? Well, what does 3 and 4 both go into? Here's your question. Your answer is you need one of them to be a positive 12 because they both go into 12. And you need one of them to be a negative 12 because a positive 12 and a negative 12 cancel each other out. And 3 and 4 both go into 12. That's why I picked that magic number 12. All right, if I need, look where my pencil is, or I guess my marker. If I need this 3 to be a 12, I better multiply this whole equation by a 4. If I need this 4 to be a negative 12, because I need one of them to be positive, I need one of them to be negative, I need to multiply by a negative 3. Watch what happens now. Let's rewrite it. Distribute that 4 through. Look, I'm going to use the marker for both of them because I have to change both of them. First time today, you have to change both. 4 times 3, 12x, plus 4 times 2, 8y, equals 4 times 1, 4. Multiply the negative 3 in. Negative 3 times 4, looky, looky, archway cookie, what just happened? Negative 12. Negative 3 times 3, positive 9y. Negative 3 times negative 2, positive 6. All right, before I move on, I made a very, very, very silly mistake. Very silly mistake. Does anybody see the very silly mistake? Negative 3 times positive 3 is a negative 9. Did I get you? Because I got myself. That should be a negative 9. Okay? Fix that, please. I made a mistake. It happens. Alright, look at the 12s. Boom and boom. The 12s cancel each other out, don't they? 8 minus 9 is negative 1y. 4 and 6 makes 10. Divide by a negative, y is negative 10. Okay? Please make sure that you change that to a negative 9 because I multiplied incorrectly at first. Alright, now you can pick any equation you want. You can pick this one, you can pick this one, you can pick this one, or this one. I'm going to pick the top one. I'm going to pick 3x plus 2y equals 1. And I'm going to plug in negative 10 for y. So 3x plus 2 times negative 10 is 1. That's 3x minus 20. Can you guys do me a favor, please? I want you to stop writing plus negative 20. Plus negative 20, that kind of goes out the door now in high school, okay? Plus negative 20 is really just minus 20, all right? And then you add 20 to both sides. And you get 3x equals 21. Divide x is 7. You're now done. Your answer is 7, negative 10. All right, we're moving along. We have the got it, and then we have special cases. You're going to love the special cases on these. They go really fast. Let's do the got it. Okay, this is one of the more difficult ones. Are you ready? Look, we have 4 and 3, 3 and 2. 4 and 3, 3 and 2. So your question to yourself is, do I want to make 4 and 3 into a 12? Or do I want to make 3 and 2 into a 6? Do you see what I'm saying? You need to pick if you're going to cancel your x's or your y's. If you cancel your x's, you need to make your x's into 12s. If you cancel your y's, you need to make your y's into a 6. Now, is there one that's easier than the other? Yes. The answer is yes. Do you see how this y and this y already have different signs? That means those are a little bit easier. Okay? The 3 and the 4, we would have to multiply by a negative as well. And you can see from above that I made that mistake. Sometimes it's easy to when you multiply by a negative. The 3 and the 2 should become a 6 because that's going to make our lives easier. Because the negative signs are already where they should be. One's positive, one's negative. If I multiply the top one by a 2, that's going to make this 3y a 6y. Do you agree? If I multiply the bottom by a 3, that's going to make this negative 2 into a negative 6. And if I have a positive 6 and a negative 6, they're going to cancel each other out, which is, well, that magic I was talking about. Multiply your 2 in. 8x plus 6y equals negative 38. You guys did that in your head, right? You didn't just write it down because you trust me? What if I did it wrong, just like I did above? I didn't, though. Multiply your 3 in. 3 times 3 is 9x. 3 times negative 2, there's that minus 6y. Remember, that was our whole goal. And 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. So you always want to multiply by something that's going to make something cancel out. Bam, bam, the y's go away. 8 and 9 makes 17x. Negative 38 and negative 30 makes negative 68. Now I know you might think, oh my goodness, we're finally going to have a fraction answer. Nope, just kidding you. Divide by 17, you get negative 4. Maybe you knew that already. Maybe you knew 68 divided by 17 is 4, but it is. Pick any equation you want. I'm going to pick the top one because, well, it's first and it's not too bad. It's got a lot of easy numbers to work with. Maybe that negative 19 is not so pretty, but that's what I'm going to pick. Plug in the negative 4. 4 times negative 4 plus 3y equals negative 19. That's negative 16 plus 3y equals negative 19. See where we're going? Add 16. 3y is negative 3 when you add. And y is negative 1 when you divide. I know it's very easy just to copy these and to do the answer that I put down. You should be challenging yourself and doing the math in your head as we go along. The answer is negative 4 and negative 1. If you don't believe me, plug them back in. You will see they equal the same thing. Special cases are we are going to end with. You're going to love these because they go fast. Alright, what cancels out? 2 and 1, 6 and 3. Neither, right? But if we multiply the bottom one by a negative 2, watch what happens. I'm going to rewrite equation 1. 2x and 6y equals 18. Now watch, I'm going to multiply the bottom by a negative 2. Negative 2x, negative 6y equals negative 18. Look what happens. You get 0 equals 0. Does 0 equal 0, guys? Absolutely, right? Infinite solutions. If you graph these, they'd be the same line. Let's try it again. Does anything cancel? Please don't say yes. I know you're tempted to say yes, but don't say yes. Nothing cancels because we have 2 negatives for the 2's and 2 positives for the 5. Multiply the top one by a negative 1. Watch what happens. You get positive 2x, you get negative 5y, and you get negative 7 when you distribute that negative 1 through. Boom, boom, boom. And the bottom remains the same. The bottom equation. Negative 2x, positive 5y, and 12. Now watch what happens. The x's cancel. The y's cancel. So you get a big fat whopping 0 over here. But negative 7 and 12 makes 5. Does 0 equal 5? No way, right? No solution. If you graph these, they would be parallel lines. Go back through the notes, please. See if you have any questions. Especially take a good look at these ones. Understand that tomorrow some of your problems might have fractions as answers, and you're not going to like that very much. But that's okay, because fractions are a part of life, and I know you're going to learn to love them this year. Alright, if you have any questions, get them ready, and we'll see you tomorrow.